The world as we know it ended. Something new has begun. It's been happening. We've gone past the turning point. I have something beautiful to tell you. And I also have something that I want you to think very good and hard about to make a decision for yourself about what is to come. This is so important. Somebody said, they're all important. I said, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'm not just doing frivolous videos here. These are critical times. And we're not talking about how to put my makeup on. I do that on the other channel. And it's always vegan. Are you ready to go into the new world that we will know? If you participate, it is your choice. You ready? You're going to love this. Let's go. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an amazing life. Yeah, I just went for a walk and a shower, and you're probably thinking, you're always having a fan yourself. What's the deal? No, I'm not going through menopause. That's long gone. But however, it's very hot here, and I have to turn the fan off because apparently a few people said that they can hear a little buzz in the background. So bear with me here because this was such an important download. And I had to have this talk with you, all right? Get your coffee, your tea, your water, whatever ready. All right, so the world as we knew it is gone. You know what? As Carole King said, only love is real. Everything else is an illusion. The world as we know it has ended. Musicians, artists have been singing about this for decades. And we just don't really believe it. The changes that are happening are big ones now. All right, so here's what's so incredibly important. The things that you hear out there that you believe, whether it's the Bible or the government or health or whatever, when we take a stand to battle one another, we are falling into what we are meant to, and that is separation. So many of these things are placed out there so that you will take a side, and it really helps no one. What we must do, this is a requirement, in order to go into the new earth that will be at peace, is to respect each other's opinion without having to have them believe what we do. So people will force this stuff all the time. This is how it is. And I'm thinking, yes, for you it is. But what I want you to understand is if we lose our freedom to believe what we do without harm to others and to make our own choices for ourselves without harm to others, then we go into a matrix that we don't want to live in, right? The one that we are trying to change. When you lose your diversity, we become robots. So we don't want to lose our diversity. What does that mean? Different opinions, different choices, different thoughts, because that reality is true for that person. When we lose the respect for that and we have to argue a point, then we are in separation, and that keeps us a divided world, planet. All right, so what are we going to do right now? That person that's over there that you may disapprove of will be at some point very important to you. And the labels that we place on other people are purposeful too. In other words, propaganda will place labels on people so that there is something right you're supposed to do. And there's all kinds of that going on. Of course, we know the media, they don't really, they're just people standing there, puppets. So what do I want to convey today? And that is, the world as we know it right now is a beautiful change. And change is a little bit painful because the egos that want others to believe and think as they do will continually push that. And so the others who are creating, not still arguing the old world, but actually being creators of new ones. And if you're spending your time just looking up all the stuff out there, I want to ask you, what are you doing with your time to be the change, the positive change? What are you creating? So we have to go into creation. Isn't that wonderful? With music and inspiration and writing and education and health and new ways to do things. And we have to step outside of the constraints that we've had that have kept us in a box, and not complain or argue about it anymore, but to say, we know there's another world out there. Now, I want to ask you something right now. How are you living in your home, and what are you using? So are you like keeping good stuff over here, and then you use all your daily stuff here? Pull everything out. Pull all your good dishes out, use them. You know, I use my grandma's antique drinking glasses every day. Have I broken a few? Yeah, she'd be pleased that I'm using them. We must live our lives as absolutely deserving beings. You are absolutely deserving of everything. We hold back from creating new companies. You see this all the time. You know, online income videos for free. Check it out. Why do I promote this? I'm promoting your independence. I'm promoting that you can create something on your own, but we are told it's too difficult. This should be easy. So if it's not easy, people quit and they stay in the control of the whole system that tells you that you should be unhappy just to pay your bills. And so we're not stepping in a new earth where we can be happy without having to be millionaires. We can be millionaires though if we want to. Everything's available to you, but you have to be willing to take those steps outside of that box. What the matrix that we've created it, humans did. Nobody imposed that on us. The world as we knew it was not a really, let's just say, progressive one. It could have kept us happy because we were able to take our vacations and do all these other things that we're told are success and good, and we're figuring out, look at the Great Resignation, that's not working. Now I'm going to talk about the Great Reset again. Why do I keep talking about this? Because I want us to get it out of our head that it has to be that definition. I want us to create our own Great Reset. The reset is setting our foundations into something completely different in financially, education, and health. We're going to reset the systems the way we choose. What does that mean? We're not talking about rebellion. We're not talking about violence. We're not talking about any of that. No more arguing. It is what it is. So when you argue against what's there that believes what it believes, then you are in the same low frequency of what you believe is right. And so we just argue. A bunch of egos are arguing. The new world will be and is formulating right now as one that is opening doors in ways you never imagined. We are accepting certain things, and it's not easy. Diversity and welcoming, all the things that we're told have not been right. And so we're looking at that and saying, it hasn't worked for us. What are we going along with? So this is going to be, this is going to be maybe a little bit touchy for some of you, so get ready for this one. Buckle up. I want to ask you something. How can any kind of conflict out there ever have been started? There had to be supporters. No matter how crazy certain ideas are, there has to be a, strong enough support system to execute certain things that happen in every area. And I'm not talking about just, our relations with one another globally. I'm talking about with our bodies, with what we use every day, with what we eat. There has to be enough people that support it. So we can't blame anybody in charge anymore. If there's nobody supporting it, there's nothing to listen to. So I want you to ask yourself, what in your life are you supporting that's keeping something going? And are you looking at the alternatives, the options that are out there right now? And here's the good news. People that have been suppressed for decades now are stepping out. They see that it is now the time period, and there's a lot of people in very high places that are of the light. What does that mean? They know that there is a higher, better way that doesn't include the greed. All right, we can be abundant. This is not one of those you have to be broke, to be spiritual. In fact, it's the opposite. Abundance flows for everybody. So the ones that you are arguing with, if you do not come together in a community with those very people, I'm not talking about the ones that are going to, oppose and do, negative things to our planet. I'm talking about the people that you may not approve of, or maybe they're not well educated, or they have a culture that you're uncomfortable with. If we do not come together in respect for one another, there will be a time, and it's coming, that community, we're going to need it. We're going to need it, and you're going to wish that you had befriended all those people that you disapproved of. And you're going to look at yourself and ask, what created that? What are you creating? Division? No, we've got to get past that. Look at, right now, we all have to do it. Look at ourselves and say, can I listen to an opinion that doesn't harm you? Can I listen to an opinion without having to tell somebody that they're wrong and that they have to believe what I do? Because that's no different than what's going on up in all these places that you complain about. No different. This is how you should be. And so all these situations in the past, the millions of people that supported these things, that carried out some very negative behavior, they had to be a part of that. Even if they didn't agree with it, they still had to get kahunas, grow bigger kahunas, and say no. Everything on LandriaOnkka.com empowers you. Tap into your power is out now. This is 2022. And what is it? I teach you about the power and how you use it. And then you design your own life. And within that, we actually use the teachings. I have a little fun with Star Wars. We use the teachings of Yoda. And, some blatant statements all the way through these series are very powerful. All right. Yeah. Got to dry the hair. You are whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Why do I say that? That's from the Master Key System. Somebody left a comment, Landria, there's this great book, it's the Master Key System. I'm like, that's actually one of my playlists. I studied it and I was teaching it. That's a new program that'll come out probably next year. The Master Key System, a great book, and that was not even their quote. It came from somebody else who used it, who was told they were going to die and be crippled, who lived to be a very healthy old man, and he used that, and he said a mantra. But guess what? And you'll learn this if you come over to my Manifest Anything videos. You have to believe it. You have to believe it. You just can't say mantras. That's why they don't work. Why isn't it working? I have a dream board. I'll teach you all of that. So come on over. Come on over. No, go, do, learn, inspire, be inspired. You're amazing. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste.